This is a video on shaming, and shaming within the fitness industry. It's very common. And we have these different groups, so people associate themselves with different groups. And the problem is that within this group, they're saying that other people are shaming them, and we shouldn't be. That shouldn't happen. But the problem is that these groups are also then shaming back at other groups. And what we need to realise is that we're all individuals. There are people on social media that we look up to, that we are inspired by, that we like the life that they live. And they may be a part of this group and promote a certain way of living because that's their values. But please remember that that's not the values that everyone else has to have as well. And although they may agree and they love what you do, that may not work for them. So let me just give you a few examples of the different groups. So the first one is body positivity, body beautiful, the body image. And it's kind of working on the notion that you should love yourself, respect your body, shouldn't have to pay attention to what society says in regards to you have to train every day, you have to look a certain way, you have to be ripped, you have to eat certain foods. Like, that's not what it's about. And again, I really like this way, like that we shouldn't have all these pressures to do certain stuff. The issue is, though, is that within the body positivity scene, it almost discourages people not to train. And it's okay to be obese. It's okay to be unhealthy. I disagree. Like, it's okay to be overweight if you are happy with it. But being happy and being healthy are two completely different things. And when I work with a number of clients that want to lose weight, but that's not the thing that they were saying in the initial consultation, because they feel that they can't, because that's not the reason why they want to do it. And the body positivity scene will say, don't worry about that. It's not important. We shouldn't pay attention to calories. You should eat when you feel like eating. You should train and move when you feel like moving. However, this doesn't work for everyone. And when we are giving this advice and you're telling someone that wants to lose weight because they are not happy, that you should just accept your body. You should be positive and you should just be okay with it. And the problem is like, yes, in principle that works, but for this person, they're not driven that way. And their soul is telling them that they want to lose weight. They're not happy. But yet all the society within this group is telling them, don't worry about that. And I've met a number of clients where this has happened to. Within that space, so the body positivity will talk about how people say that you need to be training a lot, and it's not about that. But what I've also seen is then you've got the fit pros. So these are people that I'd say that love to train a lot, and their life is all about training. And yet, if you ask a normal person, say, what did you do today? And there's a prime example. My friend goes, did a 65k cycle, I did a 2k swim, and I also did Muay Thai. Straight away in my head, I was like, whoa, that's a lot. But what always comes with that when people are speaking to her, especially when people in other groups or people that don't train will say, whoa, you're doing too much. You're overtraining. You need to rest more. You're going to get injured. And again, you're doing the complete opposite of what you're saying not to do in terms of shaming. If people want to train because that is their life, then that's fine. There's no reason why it's not unhealthy if you do it. For someone that's never trained before, yes, that would be unhealthy to go and train that much. It'd be a whole shock to the system. But be careful of saying to people that's not healthy, because it may not be for you, but for that person it's fine. And I'd say, like, these people you could classify as athletes, but they haven't got the title as athlete because they do have a full-time job. They do have family and kids that they have to look after. But they train a lot. So if Mo Farah was to say, I train 4 hours, 5 hours a day, would you say that's unhealthy? If he's been able to do this the whole time. If people sit on their desk for 8 hours a day for, let's say, a number of years, your body gets used to that. We could deem that as not unhealthy. So if you're training for that amount of time and you've been doing it for some amount of time, be careful then putting your opinion and judging other people from that, because again, that's them. Everyone is different. We then also have vegans, we have non-meat eaters, we have meat eaters, we have all the different crews within the nutrition space. And again, we say that you shouldn't do that, that's bad, it's really unhealthy for you. And then the other people are having keto, and you should do this because you go into a carb zen and it's really good when you go into ketosis. again, we're shaming other people because something that works for you is not going to work for someone else. Something that works for you may work for someone else, and you could recommend it. But please be careful preaching your way. It's okay to advertise it, it's okay to give your opinion, and it's okay to recommend it, but it should be a recommendation and not a truth. But do not make people feel guilty because they have a different goal. They have a different way of measuring progress. Be careful with this because it can get very toxic, it can confuse people, and you've got to remember that a lot of people do look out for help. So the ones that are good on social media and do speak out loud and are coming out with a good message, remember it's your message still. And we still should encourage people, find something that works for you. Look around, speak to experts, listen to stories, try stuff for yourself first. But that is the most important thing. It should always be about the individual, and stop labeling ourselves within these different groups because that isn't your identity. That's maybe a belief and that's something you choose to do, but that's not your identity. That's not who you are. So be careful of shaming, and be careful of identifying yourself as one category because that's not for everyone.